Hey, you. Yes, you. Do you know what you need to do to achieve happiness? And what do you think about having a peaceful mind? Do you have that? Is it even possible to always be happy and at peace? Your answer might not be yes, but this book definitely says big yes. All the good things are easy within your reach. All you have to do is to follow the basics. The basics of what? Everything you need to know right now is there in this book. So without any further wait, let's start with the introduction part. How is your life going so far? Are you content with life as it is, or do you want more? If given an option, what would you like to change about it? So at some point, you were probably jealous of someone else's life. We all have been there. In this book, we learn together how to live a happy and peaceful life. Trust me, it's not as hard as we think. All you need to do is to know the basics of solid foundation. And this book summary is going to help you there. So stay with me till the end and let's learn all of this together. You would be surprised that the secret to being happy is the simplest thing in the world. So are we ready to get started? Yes, let's begin. 1. Right principles. So when you build a house, what is that first thing that you do? You plan, of course. You make sure that it looks strong and is strong. Overlooking the strength of the house's foundation can be disastrous. It would crumble in no time. This house analogy is applicable to you as well. Whatever you're trying to reach, you need to have a solid foundation on how you should go about it. Nature is unforgiving. If she senses any kind of confusion or doubt in your part, she will destroy you. And you will be unable to attain your goal at any cost. You will not feel happiness and success in any way. See, everyone has to start somewhere. You cannot win a race by immediately reaching the finish lane. No, you have to train for it. Life is not a destination. It's a journey to enjoy. You have to endure waking up early to exercise. Not to mention eating the right kind of food as well. A student does not automatically know how to solve algebra. First, they have to learn the alphabet, then numbers, and then after so many classes and steps, they learn the algebra part. And that teaches us that life has no shortcuts. Do not dare take shortcuts. Once you're about to start, mentally prepare your mindset. For you to be happy and successful, you need the right principles. If you start off wrong, if the foundation is not strong, you will of course do wrong things. And wrong things will make you miserable. As humanity evolves, things get more complex. So how did we create thousands of books just from constantly rearranging 26 letters? The principle still remains easy and simple. These foundations shape your character. It will also lead you to success and happiness eventually. So you might be thinking, what are these principles we have been talking about from so long? You need only 5. You might even hear these principles all the time, but we don't focus on them. We don't execute them. But to live by them is a challenge. It's a challenge which is too difficult for lots of people. And this book tells you that if you master these principles, you will rise above your troubles. You will also encounter success after success and so much of happiness. Let's hop on to the first principle, which is duty. Yes, by duty, I mean strictly minding your own business. Constantly meddling with other people's business will be the downfall of yours, and people don't understand that. Having a sense of duty is fully committing to your work. Your aim should be precise and efficient. Second principle is honesty. Being honest is simply not lying or deceiving anyone. Every word that comes out of your lips is sincere. And what does honesty do to you? It boosts your reputation. A good reputation, in turn, is good for business and eventually for your happiness and success. A good business is equal to you are successful. Third principle is economy. You might be thinking this is related to the monetary terms and business and everything, but this principle doesn't just apply to money. Economy also includes your own physical and mental resources. You avoid wasting your resources over desires and impulses. This is economy. You having control over your economy means a lot. It shows that your character has strength and resilience. You have control over your desires and you know how to manage yourself. Can you guess the fourth principle? It is liberality. Liberality is a follower of economy. They cannot exist without each other. Spending your resources on your own pleasures brings you misery. You just think that they are making you happy, but in real life, it's not. So what makes you liberating? Being generous is liberating. It helps you become noble. It also turns your enemies into friends. And what's better than that? The fifth and last principle is, yes, you're right, self-control. We all know that, but we don't have that. When you have no self-control, terrible things happen. You always fail. You're also physically, mentally, and financially drained. Just for a second, imagine a businessman who yells at his customer. You already know by this fact that the businessman has failed his goal. He has failed his business. He would be unable to acquire that customer for the rest of his life because of his outburst. In this life, one has to learn patience, gentleness, and kindness. If you do not learn these things and you live by your own terms, your character and chances of success are uncertain, even if you plan a lot of things and you work so hard. Again, you are familiar with the words. Be familiar with it through actions as well. Among the 5 principles I just talked about here, there's not a single word of which we have not heard about or learned about. We have been listening to them for past so many years, from childhood. But are we executing them into our lives to become successful and happier? I guess no. Live by these principles, guys. Your happiness and success are at stake. 2. Sound methods. The right principles have to be in sync with your actions. What's the use of knowing the principles if you do not act on it? They're not just here for you to listen, but to act. These principles are crucial, and they need to be acted out, otherwise they are just words. For example, a machine is only useful and admirable if it's working well. All the gears and parts perfectly complement each other. This is exactly similar to our life. You adjust some aspects of yourself in relation to the principles. And by doing so, you come out efficient and powerful. Guys, living a happy life involves regulation. You know what I mean by regulation, right? A wise man pays attention to the smallest of things. A foolish man happily chooses to ignore it. He doesn't care about it. A wise man knows that the small things make up the big things. But the foolish man doesn't think this way. Thus, the wise man is often careful. He disciplines himself when it comes to his passions. He carefully chooses his words. He carefully chooses his actions before he speaks or he does anything. But you know what? The soundest method is discipline. We gotta pay attention to the smallest acts that we do every day. Maintain a strict schedule of when you will sleep and when you will wake up. I know we all make such plans and schedules after every few days, but we don't act on them. We don't take them seriously, and then we start overthinking and, asking to people that why is my life not perfect? Why am I not being successful? Why am I not happy with my life? You are the reason behind it. There's a quote that you are the only person stopping yourself from being happy. If we really want to be happy and successful, we have to start acting accordingly. Do not forget to note the regularity of your meals, what you're eating, how much you're eating, when you're eating. So if I ask you, do you eat a certain time? And how do you eat? These questions can help with your digestion. Maybe they are making a lot of difference in your life. Distinguish hours for work and for play. Maintain a schedule that work wonders. Paying attention to the small things creates harmony. You become happy and at peace. 3. True actions. So true actions follow the right principles and sound methods. True actions are acting rightly to other people. This is often an overlooked aspect as you race towards success and happiness, and you just leave this one thing behind, which might be the most important elements of all. Look at this closely. How do you treat other people? Do you treat them with kindness? Do you respect them? If the answer is yes, it's good. Your days will become more and more peaceful, and you'll have that sense of relief and happiness within yourself when you treat people nicely. When you make others happy and make people smile. True actions make you and the people around you happy. But how are you sure that your actions are true? You might be doing some things and you might be thinking right now that I do certain things which make people happy. Or I do treat people nicely. It might be. We can check that if your actions are true or not. It's as easy as classifying the things you own. For instance, you put your clothes in a closet. You place your books on the shelves. So, an action is good if its nature is good. Also, it is a true action if its aim and effect is for the betterment of you and other people. It should come from within. It should be naturally nice and good for you and the people. A doer of true actions, or the right doer, is a careful person. He will try to avoid acts that only satisfy himself. He doesn't act selfish all the times. He will also consider if his actions will bring hurt or annoyance to other people. He knows how he's talking to other people. He knows how he's acting with other people. Self-control is again emphasized here in this audio. He will not speak ill of anyone, maybe in front of that person or behind his or her back. When he is angry, he will only speak once when he has calmed down. And that's the right way to act. That's the right way to handle these uncomfortable situations. So if you're acting this way, it might be right, guys. It might be right. You know what are needed for true actions? These two things. 1. Honesty. 2. Sincerity. These two things are crucial to make you more thoughtful, to make you more aware of what you're doing. Before you do or commit to anything, you think it through. Just don't go right away. Yes, your intentions are good, but good intentions can lead to terrible consequences. And when does this happen? When you become thoughtless. Is the action good at face value? Does it hide a motive underneath? Learn to train your eye when it comes to matters such as these. Your thoughtlessness can unconsciously make you commit terrible things and make you and the person in front of you even feel terrible. 4. True speech. So as mentioned, sincerity brings out the truth. And truth in speech is where it all begins. It's the foundation of everything you do. The opposites of truth must be abandoned. Lies, deception, and slander are examples of these. If you do not abandon these things, you will never be happy or successful. Lying to other people is sinful, but lying to yourself is considered as a bigger sin. Yes, that's true. You convince yourself that doing bad things is necessary. You make excuse for yourself. Aside from lying, you're also deluding yourself. So you are saying that you aim to be happy by lying? No. Then you will never reach it. You reach happiness, patience, kindness, etc. when you practice it. This is the one and only way to reach there. Slander is a more intense version of lying. James Allen, the author of this book, emphasized this terrible form of speech because it's subtle. Initially, you'll think slander is the truth. That's why you believe in it. But guys, it's far away from it. Those who slander need an audience. They have to pass the evil on. Now this act is bad in itself. Then it will begin to spread if you listen to it. You become evil because you were influenced by it. Those who talked and those who listened are both guilty in this case. Slander starts small. It might have been created because of a misunderstanding. Let's understand this with an example. Let's imagine Mike and Henry were arguing over something. Mike is angry because he felt that Henry was too demanding. Mike then went to his friends. Mike's friends in turn sympathize with him. The friends do not consider Henry's side. They spread slander to their friends. The argument appears worse than it originally was. So guys, it just teaches us that ignore the evil reports about yourself. Do not give evil the satisfaction to stay in your head. You know that you're a good person. Whatever irrational thoughts are there in your mind, just stop these. Just stop engaging with them. Whatever misinterpretation other people have is false. Continue to have a peaceful life. 5. Equal-mindedness. So what do we mean when we say equal-mindedness? Equal-mindedness means that you are mentally at peace. And how could you be at peace if you are unbalanced? No, you can't be. So the author says that you are a wise man when you do not have prejudices. You also do not attack, neither defend sides. You simply are an observer that sympathizes with everyone. So, what happens when you pick a side? Whenever you pick one side out of the two, you become biased. When you pick a side, you become biased. You think that your side is right. You even ignore the facts that go against your beliefs. Your mentality is to attack and to defend. Slowly, a burning hatred starts to grow inside you, and it makes you a bitter person. And because of this, your mind is unbalanced, which exactly it should not be. Because your mind is unbalanced, then you do not have a peaceful mind. It's as simple as that. An equal-minded man does not let his opinion cloud his judgment. He makes it a habit to sympathize with everyone. He does not take any side. He does not seem biased. He does this in order to understand all sides of a story. This way of life keeps him happy and peaceful. And in that way, his mind is completely balanced, and that is the ultimate source of mental peace. His knowledge about certain matters increases, all because he took the time to listen. So guys, start listening to people and stop picking sides and being biased. Get over your desires, opinions, and biases. Listen with an open heart. This is your way to peace. 6. good results. So the author in this book says, nothing just happens to us. There's no such thing as luck. We all just believe that luck doesn't work for me, or maybe it's not a lucky day for me, but there is no such thing as this. You get the good things out of life because you worked hard for it. You directed your life into a path of peace and harmony. You are experiencing what you are experiencing now because of your own actions, and that's it. You harvest what you plant. It is as simple as that. Good results do not just choose you. It has come to you because you have worked for it. Just listen to this line again and let that sink in. You are the reason of those good results. The same goes for bad outcomes as well. An alcoholic did not choose to be addicted, but he still is because of his action of drinking every single day. It's up to you to bring yourself happiness. As we discussed earlier, that you are the only person who is stopping yourself from being happy. Life is hard, guys, so you have to put in the work to achieve good results. Whatever you set your mind to, make sure your efforts are good and genuine. Make sure that you have pure intentions. Do not expect to harvest good fruit if you plant bad seeds. This means that you should not expect. A person who has zero expectations is always at peace. Do not get offended if your bad actions return to you. Again, you get what you deserve. Those who are living right know what to do. Every action will have a series of consequences. So then, act accordingly. Stick to the right principles, right speech, right actions, right beliefs. Their foundations are solid, and this will give you happiness and peace. And we are here at the conclusion of this book summary. Today we learned about what will make your life a happy and peaceful one. I hope we all have understood by now that it's all about building a strong foundation. How you start your journey towards happiness and success is essential. Let's quickly conclude all the points we just discussed. First, choose the right principles to live by. There is duty, honesty, economy, liberality, and self-control. Mastering these 5 principles will mold your character. It can slowly point you to the right path, which you were waiting for so long. Aside from knowing the principles, you also have to live by it day by day. Remember what we learned? Don't just listen to these words. Start acting on it. Start executing them on your real lives. Second, put your principles into motion by doing sound methods. Self-discipline is crucial when it comes to this. Regulate your life so that you will become happy and at peace. Third, think about the actions you do. Does it have pure intentions? What caused you to do it? What will be its effect on you and on the other person or other people? Learn to be thoughtful. Fourth, learn to be unbiased. Listen to all the sides, but do not take a side. Just listen to them with an open heart. You will gain knowledge from this stance while remaining at peace. Finally, the book says that you create your own luck. Success happens to you because you worked hard for it. You gave your best. So go about life with the right principles, actions, and speech. You will see just how much good fortune you can reap. And hey, if you're thinking that these are the things which you're not executing in your life and you're very late, then no, you're not. It's never too late to apply these learnings to your life. Let me tell you one thing. It's both scary and exciting that you alone have the power to change your life. Yes, it's you. Make it a goal to be happier and more successful than you were ever before. Imagine how fulfilling it will be. So go on and start right now. So this was all about the summary of Foundation Stones to Success and Happiness by